see? He wait on me. It's very difficult for me to try to do anything like that. It's difficult. See, he lay on me. See?
I've seen him online.
You see, as I find his hand, I'm grabbing the grip and I'm pushing down against that thumb. Notice what did he just do? Wince. As he does.
So that is not going to. That is not going to be able to do anything. You see this all the time as well. The whole weight land into here. Now we control that. I can't try to grab it. See? Yeah. So now break. Now. And that's it. Yeah. Yeah. See? See? So I know. See?
And I give it back.
I know. So now.
A certain way, I pushed through and came back down to a position of control.
I over in Vegas here. You know, in America, everybody got. Can I have a look?
Yeah. What are you doing? Get off of me!
Okay. So what you see there is some idea. It's not we just have a talk about like touching people's gun or grab people's gun or anything like that. This doesn't really matter. Can you brief through to them? Little bit of what happening there.
All right, so on this, what ended up happening, Master Wong comes in and grabs my gun. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna initiate that I know where my gun's at to where he can't get it out. So I put my hand right down on his wrist. As I put my hand down on his wrist, it's locking in place, as tight as I can go. From here, I'm gonna control the arm. As I control the arm, I pull you in, I step. Because fights move, and odds are you're gonna keep on moving.
That's it.
So as you kept moving, from here, I push the hand down, which causes a lot of pain, and also I'm pushing against the thumb. That's not too strong, so it comes off of my gun. It rakes down through my holster. You have to feel it to actually understand it. From here, after I got it disengaged you, I then began throwing knees, an elbow, pushed you away to get you off of me, because nobody should be trying to touch my gun.
Okay, let me brief through this so you can see. Now, some of all this movement here, you have to feel to understand how the body movement work, okay? Now, when I grab the gun here, two things you need to understand. This hand is trapped inside this old metal. All this is metal, okay? So that means he puts a lot of my pressure into here. So now check this out. When he weigh in here, I'll put it in, and I try to pull, he keep it in here. I can't get it off, okay? Now he locked me. Now this is locked. It's like we are struggling. It's locked, okay? Now soon it locked, he would take the hand off, that he grab. Now see, so hold on a second. Over here, come over here. See, you see this bit here? This is the metal bit, okay? He literally shoved my hand, graze it, so basically cut everything off like this. While he turning his body and lock me in. Now, if you want to do anything from here, it's not possible. Now, why not possible? Because it's dropping weight on my shoulder. It's dropping down here it's difficult for me to move or to do anything. Now, this is unique part of some of you training don't understand. When he's here, okay, if you try to pull him up, he weight on me, see? He weight on me. It's very difficult for me to try to do anything like that. It's difficult. See, he lay on me, see? It's very difficult. Now, I'm do this all the time. I'm do martial, I'm strong. If somebody don't, they clap, they knee on the floor now. He will control me, and he will do whatever he want to do with me, and then he will either shoot you, okay, or attacking you, or he's gonna beat you up. So when you see some of the movement we're doing, it look quite, when he's doing, look quite quickly when he turn, and then he attack me, and then attack me, knee me, and then, okay, and then he let me go. And you're thinking like we're playing around. Every single movement of this is so important that he have to be locked down. All this locked down, okay? Now, if you try to hit him from here, it's not gonna happen because you're gonna break your arm. Your hand will broken, okay? It literally broken. And he supports so much into here. And now it's difficult, it's heavy. His whole body on me, okay? Now when he knee me, it's right into, see where that your face is? That's it, see? It's like, even though you try to grab me, that grab, see, you see how you say people good when you knee me? He know, wow, that's it. So don't mess around with a cop. If you start to mess around with a cop, or people got weapon, or people understand and teach you this sort of stuff, you are the dead man. Anything you want that on?
So now, on this, just don't touch cops' guns.
You touch a cop gun, man, you're gonna get your face bust up, and don't try to be funny because it's not funny. The stuff you're gonna do, it's gonna mess you up. So you wanna, if you invade, now you see my video, I don't recommend many people into the real life tactical training, but you're in Vegas, you need to check him up. Tell them who you are.
Sal Mascoli at IDO, Integrated Defense Options. YouTube, I do tactics. And on Instagram, IDO_consulting.
So when you check him up, when you're in Vegas and you come into the talk, if you're gonna be in here and like to shooting, learn about gun, it's the best place to go to practice gun. I'm from England, you know I'm from England. We never touch on a gun. So this is place when I came in to learn about gun, you learn about all this fundamental movement you're training to helping you to using the weapon. And I tell you, you go home with a very different experience, okay? And then after that, you go to shooting the knife, ammo, then you know you feel safe and you feel good and you have a lot of respect with weapon because a gun kill, people don't, okay?
And again, two things. Here comes Top Shot to get some firearms training, and then IDO to get tactical training.
That's right. So he will be here teaching tactical, okay, as well. So the Master Wong here
and Sal Mascoli, IDO.
Out! Ah!
Master Wong, you're back!
I'm back, man. I haven't seen you for days.
How are you, buddy?
I love it. Last time we come over here and you go through the training and technique, and I just fascinated. I just love it, you know.
Hey, and guess what I was just doing right now?
No.
I was just training. That's why I'm sweating all over you.
You've been training. I know you work hard, man, because you're teaching a lot of places and everybody else's. They're over here. They're needed, you know.
Yeah, people need to be safe.
So
what do you want to do today?
I'm from England. You know that. In England, you got no weapon, and we can't, shooting. I love learning the stuff that can transferable from self-defense to the real life. That one day, if I need it, I can use it.
And hopefully I can get you to move here to the United States and I'll get you some guns. So this way you can start having guns all the time. But since you don't, what I want to have you do, because it's been a little bit since the last time you shot.
Yes.
So I'm going to have Billy take care of you. Billy is the range director here at Top Shot.
Right.
I'm going to have Billy take you through a reiteration course so this way you can refamiliarize yourself with all the stuff you learned last time. Because last time I remember when you left, you shot real good. I hope you maintain those skills and just dreamt about it all day long.
I hope so.
Here you go with Billy, and I'm going to turn you over to Billy, and then I'm just going to kind of chill out and watch.
Okay, cool.
Good morning, everyone. Come on back to our range.
Okay, cool. Let's go.
Started.
And let's go in and see how the training. Because last time I went here, come into here, do a bit of
Put on some safety glasses, everyone.
Safety glasses. Remember, safety of yourself must come first because you only got one eye,
So in here what we do is we've got lots of different training techniques and things that we can do in here you can't do anywhere else because of the UTM product we use. It's training ammunition that military and law enforcement use all over the world. So we're going to kind of go back to a little bit of the stuff that Master Wong and I did last time. We kind of reiterate. It's very important that as you're using your firearm and or your weapon system that you use for the day, if it be possibly be fighting with the gun, typically there's a lot of techniques like everything else you do in the martial arts world. So I like to teach everybody as they're doing it. I will show everybody that we are using a UTM training gun. It is clear and empty, right? Clear and empty.
That's right.
Okay. All right. So typically these have a special kit in them to allow us to use the training ammunition that we use in a safe, non-lethal environment. So as I was saying last time we were talking about using our firearm and keeping everything here in a work area, in close to the body as we're loading, as we're clearing malfunctions, that type of thing. You're typically going to have straight lines. Straight lines are strong. If you're loading a magazine, let me get one of those magazines back there, please. As you're loading a magazine, we are using what's called a man marker today. Typically we use this for shooting force on force and protective gear. Straight lines are strong, so just like in the martial arts world, you want to be strong. So as you're loading something like this in a confined environment, boom, you want to make sure everything's in here and workable. Okay, last time when we were talking about, we were doing our stuff, we were talking about basically movement after you get done finishing the shooting drills, for example. Okay, so you want to be on balance. So after you come in, you complete your drill, you drive out, you make your shot. So I might have additional threats behind me. If I look back, I'm typically going to be getting offline, and I'm going to look behind me immediately. You see how I'm balanced here? Okay, because if there's a threat there, I can immediately go if I need to go and reposition myself.
A threat, or what if you're looking for cover too back here?
I'm also looking for cover and or other good citizens as well. So then I might go ahead and spin around, fall back behind me. You don't want to just turn, you want to spin your body around, because if I see another threat there, I'm immediately positioned to move into another position. Okay, everything that we're doing here is very important. It's all about balance and being in the right position, keeping everything in close contact. We do a lot of drills here that are similar to that, but there's after the actual shot, you don't want to just be standing there like this, because all of a sudden somebody might come up and clock you in the back of the head. So you need to look for additional threats or someplace else that you need to go.
And there's something unique about these trainings that I find that very benefit for me is it's not just, you know, sometimes when you go to the range, you just shoot, and then you put the gun down, and that's it. You don't really learn very much of doing that. But in real life, you're moving, you got weapon. You need to know where you point the weapon. And last time when you come over, you told about the specific way your jaw and the hand, very economic, the way you move and how you present the weapon and how you control the weapon, you know, and how you're moving. I mean,
and one of the things I think you did so well at is because you related to everything, because it was all close and here what you normally do when you do your martial arts.
Right.
So when you do working to defend yourself, everything you do is right here in that circle.
That's right.
Right.
So
and so it transitioned over to everything we started doing with the firearm, and that's why you caught on so quickly, because all those skills were transferable. Everything was so transferable.
So is it everybody able to have that kind of skill, or is it because some of them doing martial arts style? Last time I met him, the way he do things is very similar to me. Is it the way we doing the hand? That's the way you teach it, because you don't do you do martial?
A little bit, yeah.
Little bit. So is it because martial people using that way, or it's a skill that you possess that have to using that way?
No, typically what it is we want to utilize the natural fighting stance. Not everybody, you're not typically going to say, hey, bad guy, hold on, let me get into my shooting stance or my shooting platform. It's all about balance. It's a natural response stance is the way I like to teach people. Mr. Wong picked it up very quickly because he went into his natural fighting stance. That's what we teach you to fight with the gun with, okay? So instead of coming in here, some people will say, I like this isosceles position, I like this weaver. It's all about the stance you need to be in at the time, especially if you already have a natural fighting stance. Your response is, whoa, what was that? Okay, if I need to fight from here, I'm ready to fight. If I need to fight from here, I can fight from here.
Well, how important is your hand need to be? Because if you can imagine, I'm watching actually just this morning, I'm watching the video of the guy ran and he do some shooting, and he pulled the gun out, he shot his bum.
Yes.
Only he said bum and knee. I show you a minute. And I put it on top of his head, and he said, "Fuck! I shot myself on the leg." You just mentioned the last time I come, they said you got to be understanding the gun because the misfire and your finger. You know, some people using a finger trigger don't understand when you pull it up, you hook it up, boom. That's why I shoot in the bum. And you mentioned that. I said, always clock on my head, because if you're in a gunfight, something happens, you pull the gun and shoot in your bum, you're finished.
Yeah, typically what happens is, as your first thing you lose is basic firearm fundamentals, and you always want to keep your finger off the trigger, but going in and out of the holster is the very most important part. Because if you, as you go ahead and step back over here. So as you come in here and you go to your holster, you see how my finger is straight. I've always got control of my weapon, a good firm grip on my firearm. Right now I'm obviously kind of open, but if I was, cover concealment, I would come in like this, drive in, bring it up in here close to my body. Okay, there's positions, this is close contact where I might not need to shoot, because if I had additional threats, I might be shooting from this position as well. But as you're doing that, you want to make sure that your hand is not out here. I know Sal has done some other videos out there where we have but they call it some palm strike setback, that type of thing. People are shooting their hands, but in that environment, people are moving. So you want to bring this in, make sure this hand's out of the way, go back, clear your garment, and do it nice and smooth. So these are some of the type of things that we teach here.
What we're always saying, and what we always say, is be aware where that muzzle is all the time. Understanding where it's going to go, where your other hands are, where your other body parts are in relationship to that. So so this way I know how to employ it against somebody else without hurting myself or getting myself hurt by that guy and or me.
Yeah, as you're handling a firearm, you're going to look around you in your environment. Obviously there's different positions you would use. Like I say, I'm in a crowded environment. If I know if I'm going to come out here, I'm going to come into a position like this, knowing that My firearm is tight. My gun is in tight. If this one kind of grab me, I could come in like this, spin around, and do different techniques.
And that is something very different. Why you hold your hand like this with a weapon like this? Why?
Okay, this is typically called a Sewell position.
Right.
It's just south. It's a good position to utilize if you're moving in heavy cover.
Right. Is it because if you not have your hand here, you might shoot down here
Yes.
if you made a mistake?
Yep, it just pretty much keeps it off the body, as well as if you step that way, I'll kind of show the presentation.
Right.
So as I'm presenting the gun, my thumbs are already together. I can drive out immediately and drive into my threat if necessary. It's in a position to where I can go right in and drive to my
How
threat if necessary.
important is it for the second count in the gunfight? Because you it's in the wrong place. For instance, you can have your hand here. Now you try to put it here.
Yep.
And then now you delay a lot of time, yeah?
It's tenths of a second. As we talked about presentation, a lot of people, you put your support hand on your chest. Well, if you have your support hand way up here, it takes an additional 0.2 of a second or so to get it over here. Tenths of a second in a gunfight is a long time, okay? You need to basically open it up, boom, drive. You want to make sure that you actually have everything in position as necessary, because tenths of a second fighting with the gun is a long time.
Just like we talk about all the time. In self-defense, firearms, economy of motion.
Absolutely.
Is what makes you efficient. And when you become efficient, that's when you become that's when you have the ability to win. Because fights move. We want to be able to adapt everything we do in that environment.
And this is so important. Last time I came in here, when I met them first time, then I start to really appreciate the instructor teaching about firearm. Because teaching firearm is very dangerous. It's not something you take lightly and just mess around. You made a mistake, you die. Okay, and after when we finish the training here, next door you got a fire like ring, live ring.
Fire, correct.
And how important if you don't understanding wave this thing around and you got people around here, it's so dangerous, yeah.
Yes.
Somebody die and you're dead.
Yep, if you make a mistake in here, it's a non-lethal problem. If you make a mistake on a live range, you're going to have a lethal problem in most cases.
And in real life, so that's why we like to bring you through here first, so this way you get used to having, because you're not used to having a gun all the time.
That's right.
So you're not used to, muzzle awareness. You're not used to, carrying it. So you get used to doing all those things, and we reinforce it here. And then when you go next door, how comfortable are you?
That's right.
Okay?
Because you're understanding each thing you're doing and you cross over on everything you do.
The great thing about Top Shot Las Vegas, as well as utilizing the ammunition and training ammunition and weapon systems we have, you can't do the things next door on a live fire range that you can do in our facility.
And next door is Discount Firearms, where we have the line, Top Shot and Discount Firearms are linked. So this way, again, training here, training munitions, go next door, live fire.
And then you have save, and then you can go home and see your wife. Okay, so if you're in Vegas, you need to check them up in Top Shot
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, and you're asking for
Billy.
And you can see that the way he teach. I go full an hour with him, the training. He's very intense, just like us, because he got so much passion, the way he talk and the way he do things, and he reinforce you all the time, because it's serious. Okay, same thing like my friend here, okay, he teaching the same. Reinforce the basic to make sure if you're gonna make a problem, you're dead. We don't want dead people. We want you alive to have enjoyed more time here, okay? And then after when you're learning that, then he want to learn some self-defense or some tactical weapon takeaway. He's the man, okay? So Sal here, he specialized on close quarters. They work together very well. And then afterwards, they will take you over the other side and play with weapon. Real live training on the real gun, so they can get the kickback, all the bit and pieces.
Yeah. As well as you can utilize our force on force area we have in here. Basically go in there, we do force on force. We do wear the protective gear where you're gonna actually have a pain penalty if you actually get hit, you make a mistake. There's nobody shooting back at you when you're shooting in a live range. Once you get into a fight with a gun situation, you got somebody shooting back, the whole world changes. You'll typically be in here standing there all day long, boom, 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 shooting the X out of this. Somebody's shooting back at you, all of those fundamentals go out the door, you turn around and do this.
Yeah.
And so it's completely different environment. You want to get into the force on force training, the reality-based training, and how it works in the real world. That's what these guys do. That's what we do here at Top Shot
And
as well.
again, we're not teaching you to be gunfighters, we're teaching you to fight with a gun. I want you to be able to be a fighter and fight with a gun, because I may not have to shoot somebody. I might have to be able to defend my gun, this, that, the other thing. So again, we're not looking for gunfighters, we're looking at people who can fight with a gun.
So it's Master Wong here, and
Billy Carl here.
And Sal Mascoli, IDO.
check out Vegas. Out!